What's up, everybody? CryptoSavy here with your daily Bitcoin and Litecoin update. We're going to take a look at where I believe the market is going. I do want to remind you guys there's a free Discord group in the description below the video, along with some other affiliate links that really help the channel out, and some of them have benefits for you too. So definitely check those out. Let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, trading advice, or investing advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Read it. Let's look at what's going on. We are at 44 in the Fear and Greed Index. We have dropped 7 points from yesterday. We were at 51, so it's going back down a little, getting a little more fearful. Let's look at the longs versus shorts. The longs went down a little bit. They were at 70% yesterday. They are at 66.47 today. Shorts are at 33. People still expecting a long squeeze. I do expect a little more downside, but we'll take a look at that. I don't believe we're going to, I don't believe this move is over. I'll say that. Let's look at the monthly. We are still within this falling channel, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. I still think it's just a giant bull flag. I know a lot of people are saying it's too big to be a bull flag, but my opinion, it is still a bull flag. We have not broken it in either direction yet. Volume's still declining. Let's look at the weekly. Same thing on the weekly. If you guys wonder what that 11,000 target is, look at this weekend's videos. I kind of went over it a little bit. I think I went over it Monday. I'm not going to take the time out to do it now. But as you can see, we have hit our target of the 85 or 8,500. So I'm going to get that stuff off there, try to clean the charts up a little bit. We do have lower targets still here, guys. This being a 0.786 Fibonacci retracement, and this just being the bottom of the trend line at 4,900. We have to keep in mind that these are still possible, guys. But as of right now, like I said, in the medium term to long term, long term, I'm definitely 100% bullish. Medium term bullish, a little bit bearish now for the maybe today, maybe into tomorrow. We'll talk about that. But as you can see, volume's still declining on this while we're within this pattern here. So let's look at the RSI. So looking at the RSI, as you guys know, first off, if you haven't seen this, this is a long-term support resistance line in the weekly RSI. We had capitulated back in 2013 and 14 below this support line where it became resistance. We blew through, came back down, tested it for support, and continued our bull run through 2017. 2018, we capitulated, came back up above it in February of 2019, came back down, tested it, got support, and I believe we are headed up from here in the macro. Now I want to show you what I was looking at first, was looking at this as a falling wedge. We broke out of, came back down, tested for support, which also lined up with the support here. Then I also had this line that I drew in, whoops, wrong one. And this one here that I drew off these two peaks, we broke through, bullish, and then I cloned this bottom line. If you look at this, put it up at that peak, we're peaking through that. If we close above that this week, guys, extremely bullish in my opinion. Let's look at the daily. So looking at the daily, don't forget we're going to check out Litecoin next. And don't forget, guys, subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time here, I do daily updates every single day. Also, make sure you smash the likes and leave your comments. That really helps the channel out. It is an awesome way to support any of the YouTubers you guys are watching. Always make sure you at least give it a thumbs up. Take a second out. We take the time to do the videos. Least you can do is stop, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, any comment. Tell me the name of your dog, your cat, whatever, bird. Just let us know what you think of our videos, and do that for every YouTuber. It really helps, guys. Anyways, back to what we're looking at. So I have this target at 8,900. That's what I had on the thumbnail, and I'll show you why. If you look at the white falling channel here, You can see this being the resistance, this being the support. And we take our, sorry guys, I'm running late as usual, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys. If we do the measured move of this channel, where we broke out, I still am looking at this to get up to the 8,900. So I don't believe this move is over. I do believe we are in a correction of it now, and we'll take a look at where I believe it's correcting to. I'll give you some lower targets. 72.19 being the 0.618. That is definitely an area to watch. So if we do break that, it could get bearish. Then we would be looking back down towards the 6,400. If that was to break, like I said earlier, this is the 0.786, the 5,400 range, and then this macro trend line at about 47.50, somewhere in that range. But as of right now, like I said, we hit our target of 8,500. Let me get that out of there. If we can get up past this, I do see us coming up to that 8,900. And I'm going to show you here in a minute what I'm looking at. Also, I want to point out, as you can see, the EMAs are crossing the 8 cross the 55 here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit in case you guys can't see that. We blew through the 200 EMA up here, came back down. We did close above it yesterday, which was a good sign. But anyways, we are falling now, I believe, towards the 7,700, maybe 7,650. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the targets, but we do have the 13 EMA looking across the 55 next, which will be bullish. Doesn't mean we don't come down first and then come back up. Question is, do we test this channel? And that would be around the 75, somewhere in the 75-60 range. That is a possibility, but again, like I said, we'll take a look at what I'm seeing in the charts. We'll get into the 4 hour here in a minute. Let's look at the RSI. So the RSI we've also been watching. We were in a falling channel that we broke out of here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. We were in this falling channel, which we broke out of here. Came back up. We did not quite touch the top of this yet. So I do believe that will be, if we do come up here, that'll be that 8,900 range. But it's possible, guys, we come down to retest all the way down here. And within here, that's going to be around that 75.50. But like I said, that is not my ultimate target. I do have some more to look at in the 4 hour. And I'm going to pull that up now. All right, so in the 4 hour, and this is kind of messy. First, before I go into this one, I'm going to show you the simple one. I do have the VPVR here, and that's confluent with the 72. And as you can see, I have a trend line here off these two wicks. So this could be a possibility to come down here, and that may take that might be next week when we hit there, if we go there. But I also have this trend line across here being a neckline. I know a lot of people were calling this a head and shoulders. I guess you could look at it like that. I'm not really looking at it like that. But I would look at this as a resistance line all the way across here that we broke through. And if we did a measured move off of the deepest point right here and bring it up to where it broke out, that gets us up to the 89. That's why I'm still looking at the 89. But like I said, I do see us coming down a little bit further first. This would be the first point I would look at, a stop, 76.50. And like I said, if that doesn't hold, then we'd be looking at the 72. But this is what I'm looking at right now. I believe we at least get a bounce here, maybe up into the $8,200 range, somewhere in there, and then possibly come all the way back down. But I'm definitely looking for a bounce at 76.58, and my target is 8,900 ultimately here. So let's look at, I'm going to go into the my other chart here, which is still the 4 hour, guys. Keep that in mind. But this one is what I was looking at before. If you look at this as a falling channel and take a measured move of the widest part of the channel over here to where it broke out, even though this is a different way to look at it, guys, and this could be, you know, how people were looking at it as a inverse head and shoulders, but anyways, that also gets me to the 8,900. So anyway I look at it, that's where it's looking to me where we're going to end up on this move. Another thing I want to point out I have a trend line in here right now. You can see it from this wick, these wicks, and we've broken through it now, and I'll zoom in so you can see. We've broken through, came back down to test for support. That's why I do believe we are headed down towards that 6750 range. But if we look at this trend line that I have here, something else I want to show you guys in the RSI in a minute, but that is where I'm looking for a bounce, the 7650. Like I said, the 7200 is the 0.618 of this macro Fibonacci retracement of this macro move right here. So that's, if we drop below the 7215, then we're probably headed towards these lower lows around 6284, and then we have that 0.786 at 5400. So let's take a look at how else I'm looking at this, and then we'll take a look at the RSI. It'll make more sense to you once we look at the RSI. But anyways, I do believe we're headed back down to the 7650, maybe 7550 area, if this is the trend line we bounce off of and not the other one I just showed you. Anyways, I know it's getting confusing, guys, but it'll all make sense here in a minute. The reason I'm looking at the 7650 and a good bounce there is if we look at the RSI, this is the 4-hour RSI, mind you. We have been in this rising channel in the red. I had this wedge drawn in here, and if you belong to the members group, I posted this in there yesterday with this arrow telling people that I want to see the 4-hour RSI come back down and retest this falling channel, and I expect a bounce from there. Now, that's not to say we don't come back down and go to that 7200 or somewhere in that area down here, but I do expect a bounce here when this touches. Keep in mind, though, in the 4-hour, it can go below it. It doesn't. It can go all the way down here. As long as that 4-hour, whichever 4-hour it is, closes back up here, then we can, I would be looking for a long there. Just my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. But that's why I believe that'll line up around that 7650 range. If you look here, it should get us down right in that range. Now, we could also look at this as a bear flag, and we've broken it there. That would get us down to about the 7600. So between 7550 and 7650 here, I'd be looking for a good bounce. Like I said, keep an eye on that RSI. But that's what I'm looking at today, guys. There's also something else I wanted to look at. And if we let me put this over here. This, as you can see, this is a rising wedge we have here, rising broadening wedge, which technically is bearish. They more often break out to the downside. So if we were to do that, that would line up right around that 5400. But like I said, guys, I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna come up and at least test this 8900, and that would break this macro resistance on this whole trend right here. So yeah, that is what I'm looking at right now. I think we're in pretty good shape, guys. I know a lot of people have this trend line a little different. I guess I could put it on there kind of like they have it and just see where we're at. That would line up right with where we've hit. I don't know why that was moved. Anyways, but yeah, that got us to that 8500. Now, like I said, if we get up to that 89, most likely we'll come back down, retest this for support before continuing up. So, we could go to the 89 and then retrace all the way back to 8200, even as far as 8200. So keep that in mind. But this is ultimately my target right here, guys. And keep in mind, that's just my idea of the market and seeing what I think. Let's go into Litecoin. So Litecoin on the daily. I have some targets here. This one, the 58.97, will line up with the 200 EMA, and I do think that is a possibility if we can break out of this broadening wedge that I have in here. We'll take a look at it in the RSI. So in the RSI, we had this falling channel. We kind of peaked out of it here, but then fell back in it. remember, we're on the daily, so we can still pop up here. And I got a target here of 49.42. If that one breaks, I believe 58. We'll take a look at the 4 hour. Let me get over to the 4 hour. And as you can see here too, the EMAs are still pretty bullish. My smaller ones are moving up towards the 55. Let's go into the 4 hour. All right, in the 4 hour, we could be looking at, let me get this cleaned up a little bit. I don't know why I had two of these here. But anyways, all right, let me look at this. Like I said, I have this 49.42 neckline up here. I do have some measured moves here, and I'll show you in a minute. But what I'm looking at here is this is a rising broadening wedge, which usually are bearish. So if we were to come back down, my low target on that wedge is 40.50. I don't think we're going to go down that far, but I could be wrong. But that would get us down to around, and it could change too, guys, depending on what if and when it broke this line. But that'd be around the $31 range. Now, if we were to break up, if we went up to this 49.42 and are able to break it, and that would line up with Bitcoin's 8,900. That'd be getting us up to somewhere right in the 58.50 range, somewhere in that range. Again, guys, these targets aren't absolute, and they're not, exact. It's just a rough estimate. Also, there is a higher target. If we look at that neckline and we do a measured move of the depth, bring it up, could go as high as, where is that? 63.11. I'm going to go ahead and put a channel up there too. These are just areas to watch, guys. It all depends on how the market's going to react. Today's going to be a big deal. If we do the same as Bitcoin on Litecoin here, chances are we would come down to this 200 EMA on the 4 hour, which is going to be 43.83 before continuing up. Now, another thing I want to point out, if we draw a flagpole right here from the breakout, and I'll zoom in so you guys can see that, and we look at this as a bear flag, and we go to where it broke out, that also lines up right around 42, right around the $42 range. So let's go ahead and put a target there. Litecoin could be going down between the $40 and $42 range for its correction, if I'm correct about what I believe Bitcoin's going to do. Again, guys, I don't have to be correct. The market does what it wants. I'm just showing you my opinion. But I do appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes and leave your comments down below. That will also get you entered to win a free t-shirt on Sunday. I'll go through, pick a random comment. I'll leave a BitMEX tutorial here too. Check it out if you guys are interested in trading. I do suggest practicing on a testnet before actually putting money in. And when you do decide to use money, put in very little, especially if you're new, and don't use high leverage until you get comfortable trading. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. I'm out.